traffic analysis. To get started, we first need to download Wireshark. To do that, open up an internet browser and navigate to the URL seen at the top of my screen, which is https://www.wireshark.org. On this page, click on Download, and then select the installer for your particular distribution. In this case, we're going to be working on a Windows system, so I'm going to click on Windows x64 installer. This will download a Wireshark executable, which we can use to install Wireshark. Once the executable has downloaded, I'm going to open up the executable, and this will launch an installation wizard. On the main screen, click Next. Once you read through and agree with the license, click Noted. Then click Next. Leave the defaults for components and click Next. We'll leave the defaults for additional tasks as well and click Next. Leave the default installation location and click Next. If you don't already have npcap installed on your system, then you would check the box to install npcap here and click Next. Similarly, if you don't have USB PCAP installed on your system, you can click Install USB PCAP if you need it. In this case, we don't need it, so I'm going to leave it unchecked and click Install. Now Wireshark is being installed on our system. Once the installation is complete, we can click Next, and then click Finish. Now we're able to launch the Wireshark application, and the landing page will look like this. At this point, we're ready to start capturing and analyzing network traffic. So on this landing page, in the main window, we have a list of network interfaces that we could select to start capturing network traffic on. In this case, let's select Adapter for Loopback Traffic Capture. This is going to look at our loopback address, or local host. So I can double-click on this, and it starts taking me to a packet capture. And here we can see all of the network traffic in a live window that's occurring on the local host. So we can see the source and destination addresses that are happening. Once we feel like we've captured enough network traffic to analyze, we can click on the red box up here in the top toolbar, which will stop our packet capture. So now our packet capture has been stopped, and we can start to analyze what we've gotten. We can see that we captured 327 packets, and in the majority of cases, the source and destination were both our local host. This is expected because we're capturing traffic on our loopback interface. However, if we scroll up to something like packet 249, we can see that there's a different source and destination here, but the source is still a private IP address, and the destination is a multicast. Let's scroll back down to the bottom and go deeper into one of these packets. I'm going to select packet number 327 by clicking on it in the top window. Going through column by column, we can see information such as the packet number, the time at which the packet was received on the network, the source IP address, the destination IP address, the protocol type, which is TCP, the length of the packet, and other info about the packet. Then in the bottom right window, we can see the hex representation for the packet, and in the bottom left window, we can start to go more in detail with the packet information. So we can expand these different tabs, such as the frame, to get frame information about the packet. We can expand the interface line, and we can also expand the Internet Protocol version 4 line, which will give us more detailed information about the packet's headers. Then we can expand the Transmission Control Protocol line, which will give us more information about the TCP handshake and flags. And then we have the data header, which gives us the actual contents of the packet. So this is how we can capture and analyze network traffic using Wireshark. If we want to save this capture for later, we can do that by going to File, Save As, and saving our packet capture. We have a variety of different types that we could use when we expand the Save As dropdown, and we can see the different types of packet capture that we could export this as. In this case, I'm going to save it as Wireshark TCP dump format, and I'm going to call this Demo. And I'm going to save my packet capture. If I close that capture and return to the landing page, we can see a new section in our window saying Open, and it has the path to our packet capture. If I click on that, it opens up the packet capture that we just saved. So this way we can come back later and continue analyzing our packet capture. If I want to then start my capture again, I can click on the blue fin and click Start Capturing Packets, and now it starts a new packet capture on the same interface. And if I need to restart the packet capture, rather than stopping and starting it again, I can click on this green fin, which restarts my capture, and it gives me the option to save before continuing, or continue without saving. In this case, I'll continue without saving, and it restarts my packet capture. This can be useful if you meant to only packet capture during the specified time window that a test was running, and you need to restart because the test didn't work, or for some other reason you didn't want those earlier packets you captured. So Wireshark is a very useful tool when it comes to network analysis and capturing and analyzing network traffic.